Hello everyone and welcome back to Stylish Ninja YouTube channel. In today's video we're going to be learning how to cut this off shoulder gown with a 180-degree flay without joining. So you can see the picture, it's a strap dress, so you can see this was what we came up with at the end of the day. It was fine, it looked good. So you can see it, I made it very long. So guys, if you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button. Okay, so now we're going to get started. I actually used about 6 yards of fabric for this because I wanted it to be long and for me not to join my dress, that's the gown, at the down part. So that was why I used 6 yards, but at the end of the day the fabric was still remaining. So now guys, so let's get started. So like I said, please like. Okay, so this is the fabric. Like I said earlier, I used about 6 yards of this fabric. That's about like 6 yards of it. So a piece of it was still remaining at the end of the day. And then these are my lining. So I'm going to be cutting double lining for this. Okay, so I wanted to create a bustier. So yes, I'll create a bustier. So these are the measurements that I made use of for this dress on the screen. So I'm going to be using my free hand. I'm not using a pattern. So now, because it is an off shoulder, you can see what I did. I came up by 6 inches, and from that 6 inches, I marked this second line. That's my bust point line. And then the next line I am marking is my under bust line. So use your own applicable measurements, my under bust line, and then my half cut line. So these are all of the line. The first line there is the shoulder line. So please subscribe if you have not done so. Like my video, share. So these are all of the line: shoulder line, bust point, under bust, and then the waist line. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to use our bust pan, which is our nipple to nipple. So for this, I'm using about 4.5 inches. 9 divided by 2, that's 4.5. So you can see the way I'm marking them. I'm just placing them across all of the lines. So like I said, it is an off shoulder dress, so I'm creating a bustier inside. So I came to the under bust line. I came in by 1 inch. That's, I'm taking 2 inches of that. So from that point, you can see I connected it to the bust point line, and then the one on the center also I connected it to the bust point line also, so you can see. And then after connecting it from that point, I'm going to bring it down, so you can see what I am doing. You see the way I'm bringing it down, I blended it into the line back. That's it. So I'll come to the top shoulder, I mark 1 inch also, and then connect that bust point. That's the line again, that same line that is running. Oh, I'll connect it to the 1 inch I mark on this side, and then connect it also again to the 1 inch again I mark on this side. So you can see our bustier is almost ready. It is not a big bustier, but this bustier will still stand and give you a beautiful standing effect. So after everything, I'll just cut this out like this. So I'm cutting out the side. So I just left that part, that's the back piece. So and then I'll cut out this part. So like I said, I used 2 inches of that, both on that top line and on the normal under bust line. So at the end of the day, this is what I have. So I'm going to take my center piece, I'll place it like this. So this is another method for those of you that have not seen me doing this method before. Like I said, you have different ways of getting to Lagos. Just follow your own way. You can enter aeroplane or you can use car. So after that, I'll come to the shoulder line. I'll divide my shoulder measurement by 2, take out 1 inch from it, and then I'll place it. So for this, I'm not adding any cut and add. So you can see, so from that place I'll come down by like 3 inches. So that I'll use for my armhole. 3 plus 6 that I use, that's like 9. Okay, so from here now, place it like you can see. Now I'm marking my full measurement and just adding my allowance, because I placed this bust here, I placed it on top, you can see. So I'm trying to place it. So when you place it, just make sure that on that top part, like 1 inch on top, and then on the down part maybe like 2 inches. So that's serve for that your that allowance. So that's the essence. It's not like, the other one, you say you take out the data and replace it. This one, you are not replacing any data. What I'm marking now is my full measurement and then the stitching allowance. So placing it like this already covers up for the dart. So if you do not understand, just watch it again. This is like a very simple freehand method of cutting a bustier pattern, and it will come out perfectly well. So you can see how I just place it. So now we're going to cut the back. What we're going to do, you take the side of the front, you place it like this, and then you take this one also, you place it. You can see how I place them, simple and easy. And then you cut the frame, that's the body frame of back and front the same, making sure you have a zipper allowance here. So for that zip allowance, I just want to do a little bit of contouring. So you can see I just came in a little bit for my zip allowance. I just want to take out like half of an inch from that side back, okay, just to make sure that the back is not entirely straight. So after that, I'll just mark it, just give it a little bit curve. You can see it came in the under bust side and then came out from the top. So the next thing, I want to add my neckline. So the neckline is a straight line. So I'm going to be using about 8 or 9 inches thereabout. Remember, we use 6 inches. So you place your tape in such a way that that 6 inches will be included since it is an off shoulder, and then you mark it, okay? And then for the back dart, I'm just going to mark the dart lines for the front ones and just trace it in. So like I said, this is freehand we are making use of. So those of you that don't know how to use freehand, just watch and enjoy the video. So now these are all of my lining. I finished cutting them. So I've ironed hairstay and gum stay on the bustier part. So this is the back. I'm just going to give it a straight stitch and then we'll come back to work on the front. So that's the back. So for the front, you can see this is my center front. I will take my side front. I'll take one piece and then I'll place it like this. So you can see the way I'm placing it. So I'm pinning it so you know how you are going to stitch. So like I said, this is a very simple, easiest pattern for a bustier for a beginner. Yes, if you are a beginner, this is just stick to this pattern for now. So please like this video if you find it helpful. Please share it with your friends, okay? I would appreciate that also. And then you just stitch it around. You can see I'm going to show you the effect. The effect is amazing. And then I will stitch this and then just stitch it down like this. After everything, you see how the bustier is standing very well. So like I said, it's a simple perfect bustier pattern to use. So the next thing I'm going to do now, fold the front, pin the dart lines, make sure that the two side darts that they correspond, because I want to mark out the neckline. That's I want to cut out the neckline at this point. So what I'm doing now, you can see. So the neckline, I marked it initially, but I did not cut it. So now I'm just marking it now back on my pattern, and then I'm going to cut it. So that's it. So like I said, you can use, depends on how deep you want it to be, okay? So at this point, I'm checking to make sure that my bust point is staying on the bust point. Everything is staying well. So like I said, please like this video. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Share the video with your friends. Share them with your soul colleagues, okay? So I took the back piece and then I placed it this way because I wanted everything to align properly. So now I'm cutting out the front piece. So that's the neckline for the front. It's a straight neckline. And then for the back, I came down like 1 inch extra for the back. You understand? So after that, I just cut it off. So this is what I have. Everything. The next thing, I'm going to turn this with my lining. Even though it is a lining, yes, I am turning lining with lining. Before then, not turning lining. I want to cover the front. So for this, I'm going to do two patterns for you guys. For those of you that have mannequin and people that don't have a dress form. So if you have a dress form, you can use this draping technique. You just place it like this. Just make sure you pin everything together, and then you just cut out the fabric, just as in like trace it on your dress form. After tracing, you are going to trace the dart legs also. Make sure you secure it. You trace the dart leg and you are going to pin everything down. Make sure that it is fitting to the size. So like I said, please subscribe, like, share. So after pinning all of them like this, you can see. So I'm just going to trim out that excess of that. I'll trim it. It did not get to the bust point. It stopped like the under bust. So I'll just trim that out, and then I will remove all of my pins. Just make sure that everything is equal, okay? And then I'll take out all of my pins from my dress form. So when I take it out, this is how it's going to look. Funny, right? Yes. So the next time I'm just going to go and hold that, and then I'll stitch it down. So like I said, I'm showing you guys two ways. In case you don't have a dress form, I'll show you how to still do it, and it's still going to be perfect, very perfect. So I'll take this back now, and then I'm going to sew my darts. I'll just close back those dart legs, okay? So in case you don't have a dress form, what you will do, you measure your darts. You understand? Make sure the exact dart as you have it, and then cut a piece of fabric and then place it. Make sure that this fabric will be able to cover the bust here. And then you come to the down part, you check that dart that you measure. If it is 4.5, place the 4.5 at that same point, and then you give it a notch. You understand? So notch it that way. So when you notch it that way, you're going to mark it. Just make sure that that line, it is there. And then the next thing you're going to do, you're going to measure the length of your dart. So when you measure the length, after, just make sure you mark that point. And then if you are using 5 inches, measure it, and then make sure you measure it on the other side also. And then just make sure it is visible. And then the next thing now, you are going to sew that you use 1 inch or half of an inch, depends on how many inches. So you can see, you sew it down, just sew your normal waist dart. So after sewing, this is how it looks. So you place it back on your dress form now, and then you pin everything. So what I'm doing now, I'm securing the my piece, that's my fabric, to the bustier. After everything, I pinned everything. So I'll take out the pins, the original pin, the one that is sticking it to my mannequin. I'll take it off and then sew this one, just like secure it down. You can see after securing it now, this is what you have. You do the same thing to your back piece. Just like basically just cut a piece of fabric and place on top. That's it. So the next thing, now you take your lining, you are going to place your lining on top, and you are going to sew it and turn it. But before then, since I want to add strap, I just made like 2.5 inches of strap like this, and then which I am going to place at that line for the center, that's for the chest area, that's that bust point area. I'll just place it. So this is optional, depends on the kind of shoulder or sleeve you want to do. You can just do it however. So after securing it and turning it with my lining piece, this is what it looks like. So the next thing, I'm going to join the side and the side of my piece. So after joining back and front together, you can see the strap, I did not secure the back because I want to do it as a top stitch. The next thing, now let's cut to our 180-degree flare. So you can see the way I folded my fabric. I folded it at an angle. Please watch, you can see it is folded at an angle, like at a right angle triangle. And then you are going to come to this top part. You divide your waist measurement, the waist of your dress, into 4. When you divide that into 4, you are going to place one piece here. Because this, you see the fabric is folded into 2, we're going to cut out 2 pieces. So you divide your waist measurement into 4. So you place 1/4 of that waist measurement. That's what I'm trying to place. So I was looking for the right place, the appropriate place to make sure, and then add a little bit of allowance to it when you are doing this, okay? So I've marked that part. At that point, I got the point already. The next thing I want to do now, I want to measure the length, the full length. So I needed about 45 inches length for this, and you see it is folded in like a triangle. So I came down, just stretch out my tape, and then I marked it that way. I got the length that I wanted. So like I said, we're not joining this piece. Then I came to this side also. I got like the 45 inches, and then I'll just mark everything like that. Just mark it round. So like I said, we're going to cut out 2 pieces of this, okay? So after cutting this now, yes, so you can see I went and got my scissors, and then I'll just cut from this top part. So after cutting this, I'm going to place it fold on the remaining part of my fabric at right angle triangle, and then I'll place this exactly on it and cut out another one. So for the second one that I'm cutting, I'm going to add a little bit of allowance because the dress is going to have a zip at the back. So that is why. So you can see the way it is looking. I'll take this. So now I've cut out the second one. So this is the second one. You can see what I did. I opened it at the back, the center back, and then this front one I did not open it, and then notch it. So for so that I'll know that that part is for the zip part. So I'll show you how to fix it now. So I'm going to fix it one. So what I mean by one, I'll fix this straight one like this to the front, and then those back ones, the back ones is divided into two. Make sure you notch the zip allowance part so that you not fix the wrong side. And then I'm going to fix this to this side, and then this to the other side. So I was trying to cut it open. I couldn't do that. So you can see this is it now. So you can see I fixed them one. You understand? So it would my flare will still be full. So you can see I fixed this. This is the straight one. That's for the front, and then these ones are for the side. So make sure that the zip allowance part is facing the zip allowance part. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to join the side like this. At this point now, just make sure that I run a straight stitch to join the side of my dress, and then this is for the back. I'll stitch the one for the back. So like I said, please, if you find this video helpful, like this video. So at the end of the video, this was what it came out. The dress came out fine. So thank you so much guys for watching. Please subscribe, like the video. God bless you.